This loud music law was enacted by the Florida legislature and essentially makes the offense a traffic infraction, which is non-criminal. The statute that was recently passed by the Florida legislature says that, one, a person to have been in violation of this law had to be in a vehicle on a Florida highway or street, and the music or the sound coming from the vehicle has to be plainly audible 25 feet or more from within that vehicle, right? Or it has to be louder than necessary for the persons or individuals in that car. And it has to be loud enough that it affects the peace of those individuals who may be in a church, who may be in a hospital, or who may be in a school.
I get kind of concerned because, the loud music law begins to attack, once again, Black and brown communities. And when we think about driving while Black, we know that history has already told us that oftentimes, Black men are stopped or pulled over. We know that the automobile came on the scene in, the 1920s. Henry Ford made it available to, most Americans. And of course, we see the automobile as a place of freedom where people are driving. You get a chance to go see family. You get a chance to see friends. During this time, there were still Jim Crow laws that were enacted after the 1896 Plessy versus Ferguson. This book became a crucial piece to Negro history or African American history in terms of places where they knew they can go to. And when you kind of relate it to the law, I'm concerned about what's going to happen. And even though we know that police are trained to protect and defend all Americans, we know that historically African Americans have been left out. So this stopping, giving even a non-criminal traffic ticket can escalate into something much more. And why it's so important to begin to educate people about why we need to know about this loud music law.
What I would tell parents and what was told to me as a child and what I plan to teach my children when they get to driving age is to really be careful, to really, understand the traffic laws when you're operating a vehicle and to comport yourselves to the law. It's incumbent upon us as parents, it's incumbent upon us in the legal community, it's incumbent upon us in the law enforcement community to serve as guides, to serve as people that can bridge the gap between law enforcement and our minority communities.
We want to feel safe, that when I call the police, or I don't have to feel like I'm worried, like, oh my gosh, if I get pulled over, am I going to arrive home alive? And I think that's some of the concerns for, Black and brown communities. How do I get home from this traffic stop and arrive home alive? And I think that's parents' concerns at this point too. And as a parent, I get concerned because I too have 3 children. And so I want to make sure my children arrive home alive.